part of the reason why I had postpartum as well is I breastfed the first 3 weeks she was born. The first 3 weeks she was born, and I don't know if you know, but breastfeeding actually triggers more hormones and emotions and blah 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 blah.
I breastfed, yeah.
And so you're more emotional as well. So I don't. So listen. So
because the doctors won't let you out the hospital unless you be like, yes, I'm a breastfeed.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm not breastfeeding, but I'm like, I'm gonna just talk because I feel like they. Welcome back. Go ahead, do your little singing.
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back.
Yes, it's Sunday again. It's 9:30-ish because that's what we said we would be here at 9:30-ish. Right. I was on time tonight.
Shout out to Flower.
I wasn't.
I was on. That's okay. It's
I was like
me.
I was like 7 minutes late.
Yeah. Listen, sis, it's okay
As long as Flower's here on time, that's
right.
all that matters.
Because usually I'll be running here. It's like 9:38.
And she comes in to pre-talk before we talk.
I'm like, listen, Flower, this is where it's about to go down. That's how we're going to do this. She looking at me like, girl, just sit down. Come on, let's get this together. So it's Sunday, like I said. Oh, shout out to the Giants because we won.
Listen, I got my jersey today.
I think the Eagles won too,
Oh,
right?
no. We wasn't talking about the Eagles.
Yeah,
because I was out.
You could not be on.
Yeah.
You
outvoted over here. Just two Giants fans. We don't want to hear the birds.
First of all, I gave her this conversation before. I said, you are now a Giants fan.
I think I want to stick with the Eagles.
Why would you do that?
Because my best friend is an Eagles fan, so I'm just going to ride that with you.
Okay, wait a minute.
Yeah, because I'm not into football.
She should have said
and I think they did win.
I told her what wave she was already going to ride. So, negative to all you Eagles fans. Boo. Okay.
They're hype. They got the little 4-0 going on.
Okay. So we got 3-0. We're starting off way better.
No, we're 3-1.
3-1. That's what I meant. 3-1.
Because they're gonna start talking crap if we over here saying
3-1. But we're gonna take that because it's still a lot better than what we did.
That's what I've been saying. I said we've been
okay.
Because last season, I don't think I watched one Giants game.
I couldn't. It was so hard for me to even watch.
I used to want to cry.
Yes, I was like, I cannot even watch the game.
Yep.
I felt crazy. I'm like, I can't watch my team lose like this.
No, so I just started watching the Rams.
So not the Rams. I don't even know. Nothing about
she don't really.
Because my favorite player, Cooper Kupp, and he's on that team.
Oh, okay, yeah, he's dope. All right, listen, y'all know last week I did not have the lip quickie popping, but today I'm about to ask these two young ladies a few questions just to start off. All right, I do have a serious topic I want to touch on too, but tonight we're talking about mental healthness. That will be mental health. No, I ain't even been drinking. Okay,
it's the cocoa.
Right. It's just the hot cocoa. So mental health. I know we said that last week, but this week we are definitely getting into it. So I hope you guys got your drinks, whatever you're drinking on. We're drinking hot cocoa tonight. Little Miss Beauty over here, she's sipping the wine. Hot cocoa because I drove her crazy already.
Yeah,
I've been on edge. As soon as this hot chocolate get cold, I'm riding the wine wave. It's all right.
I'm gonna start. You can finish it.
Got you.
Let's go.
I'm off at this stage.
Let's go.
Unless we go somewhere afterwards. Now, all right. So listen, I want to know: have either of you ever seen a microwave commercial?
No.
Where's the cricket when you need it? Are you serious?
So serious. Have you ever seen?
No. I need a microwave. I need a commercial. I need to know what's a good microwave.
Have you ever seen a microwave commercial? You have not.
Why?
Right.
Google why you're gonna ask, but you gotta figure it out.
I just wanted to know. Listen, I thought maybe one of you would know the answer to that.
No,
I've never
because
seen
that's
a microwave
crazy.
commercial. I'm sitting there one day and I'm like, I need a new microwave.
Where they made? Who makes it? You know what else I've never seen? A Chinese person at the gas station.
I have.
The
delivery guys.
I have.
The delivery guys. No, I've seen them.
Yes. They be popping up.
It might be because I used to live next to the Chinese spot, and there was a gas station, so I probably got
that makes sense.
Some of them might not live too close to one.
I've never seen a Chinese person there.
No, I have.
I've definitely seen that. Microwave, no. I was like, I don't even know where to begin because I never see advertisements for them. So where do we?
I think mine is not. Is it Hamilton Beach? I think it's Hamilton Beach.
I don't even know what brand I have. That's
I
crazy.
think I
just know it works.
It just works, right? You just get a pretty one and you go with it.
Yeah.
Like you
one that matches the kitchen, whatever.
Yeah, I go for color.
I never look for the watts because when like I look at food and it'd be like, oh, microwave for how many for this many watts? I'm like, how many watts is exactly. So it's a little one.
They'd be like, oh, for this amount of time, do 5,000 watts.
Yeah, no,
I
just know if I put it on for a minute, it's gonna be either burning hot or really cold.
Look, you gotta stop it halfway through, check that thing out. Okay, you know when you put it in your mouth, you do what it is.
That's how I eat all my food, though.
My husband's like that. I
have to.
If he's
once
like, he needs
down,
his food scorching. I'm like hot. Like you gotta fight through it.
No, you can't even enjoy it at that point.
And you don't get to enjoy it that much, but it's something
I was just getting ready to say,
I have to be like, I eat my chicken.
Every time after
burning your fingers,
I have to ask him, like, did you even taste it?
Yes.
Like, do you know what it tastes like?
Where's
Tell
the flavor?
Tell me the number one ingredient that was just in there.
And he can't tell you, can he?
He's like, it was
good. It was hot.
It was hot.
I be so mad, my chest be burning. My stomach be on fire.
Oh, you be trying to die.
I be going in. I don't know why. Especially fried chicken. I don't know. It gotta be fresh out the stove.
Yeah, that's why I like when I cook dinner because I know how much he likes it scorching hot, and it's a different scorching hot off the stove versus in the microwave. Mm-hmm. So like I have to literally cook dinner down to the minute. So when he's ready, literally as soon as it's done, he's like. Because
that's how I am.
That's a good wife. I love that. Yes, you know.
I don't cook every night though. I say that.
Either way, that's okay. She said, "Well, my man gets his plate, it be fresh."
It do have to.
Okay.
When I cook.
When I cook, but I make it sure.
For real.
Listen. All right. So on a serious note, then I want to move on to the next question.
Serious and deep about
How do we transition?
She trying to make me cry early.
No, right. I'm trying to get there, but I got another question for y'all, and this is a topic that I definitely want to bring onto the show eventually. But I just feel like with it's just something with the abortion situation that's been going on, and I want to know how you guys feel about this because you know how women have rights. Mm-hmm. Well, we did, or we may not have anymore. Who knows?
We don't know. It's circling back to
It's uncertain at this moment. We have the right to say, I don't want this baby.
Whatever reason, don't matter. If I just don't want it.
Exactly. Right? You can terminate the pregnancy,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Regardless of how you feel about it, if you believe it or not. Mm-hmm. Women do have that right. What about when the man doesn't want the baby and he doesn't have the right?
And that's why a lot of the times when I have conversation with women, they don't like how I feel about it.
So how do you feel about that?
I do definitely believe that it depends on the circumstance. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But like, at the end of the day, when people say it takes two, it always takes two. Mm-hmm. She didn't get pregnant by herself. Mm-hmm. Whether you had the conversation, whether she said she was on blah, 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 blah. When you are having sex, you know the outcome can be pregnancy. There can be a baby. Absolutely. No matter how much protection you use, blah, 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 whatever the circumstances is. So, but if you guys have a conversation and the man is like, oh, listen, like, I'm not ready for a kid, blah, 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 blah. I'm not financially stable, whatever, X, Y, and Z. And you sit there and you say, well, I want to have this baby. I do feel like there should be some kind of conversation in which if you know he doesn't want it, I don't feel like, because it's not like he can go and say, oh, I'm going to get an abortion, I don't want the baby. You know, you don't get that right. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? So
that's my point.
You know what I mean?
I think I feel how you feel.
Right.
Because we do have that right. Mm-hmm. I can go get the money. There's even organizations out there that help you pay for it.
Now, especially.
So you'll go get it done, but what if he wanted the baby?
And that is a big thing because I do believe
it's less likely you see a mom giving up a baby. All right, you want the baby, I'm going to go through this whole pregnancy and I'm going to give the baby to you now, right? That it's basically unheard of. It's unseen. Now,
because most of the time, a woman is not, she can tell you it, the chances are so low, the percent is so low, but a woman is not going to get pregnant, go through all of those different body changes, hormonal changes, and sit there and not want that baby. Right. Even the ones who give their baby up for adoption, they always have some kind of attachment void, something. Even if it's 30 years when their babies are older, there's always a void that's just what's going to happen.
You always think about it. It's always on your mind.
Because I've had that conversation, because me and my husband talk often because I'm not ready for a baby yet. You know, I just had my daughter 8 months ago. So, but I am on birth control. Like I am, using, thank you. I am using some kind of contraceptive, but stuff be happening. But I try to
And that's
sit
not
with
even
him.
100%.
Exactly, and we sit there. I trust me, I've had a couple scares, but we sit and have the conversations when that time comes, and I'm like, what if I am pregnant? Like, what if I don't want the baby? And I say it a lot, but I'm really like anti-abortion for myself. I don't. It's not even the thought of like killing the baby. It's the thought of like going through that traumatic experience for myself. I don't think I could live with that. You know what I mean? And I'm afraid I'm gonna never want kids after that.
I think a lot more times it's more situational. You know what I mean? A lot of women probably do feel like you and just say, I wouldn't be able to do it. I can't do it.
Exactly.
Whatever. You know, they wouldn't be able to do it. But a lot of times the situations are extreme. Maybe they have too many kids. Maybe their first father's not around. Financial, job,
whatever
stress,
it
space.
is.
You know, so much goes into it. I want to know how Beauty feels about it. Do you feel men should have rights when it comes to the abortion or having a baby? Let's not even call it the abortion situation, because a woman has rights. We have rights, and a lot of times, you know, we're always screaming like women this, women that. But in this situation, the men don't have rights.
That is true.
They don't
I feel
have
like
rights.
It's our body. It's our right, but at the same time, I also said that I believe in child support because the men know what they're doing. So it kind of like.
I was gonna say, I think it's one of those things where it's like nature. It's Mother Nature. That's just the way it works. Sorry, the world is never gonna be black and white.
Yeah.
So the women, there's those things where some jobs, women, you just can't do, and or if you can, you're never gonna perfect it in the man's way. That's just how life works. That's how it goes. Because it wasn't designed for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I
Definitely.
feel
That's
like,
a good way to put it.
Yeah, it wasn't designed for you. So as a mother, you're going to have more rights over, or a woman, let me say, you're going to have more rights. And this definitely got to be a whole nother topic because it falls into the LGBTQ thing where naturally a woman they menstruate. So, you know what I mean? Like, you can't.
I think some men menstruate too.
They do. They just don't have periods. They actually have hormonal.
No, I just meant they're really bitchy.
No, they do have hormonal changes monthly. I promise you. Google it.
Really?
Just really
Yes.
bitchy. We're gonna Google that. Yeah.
I believe it.
Google it.
Oh no, I believe it too. That's what I'm saying.
But it definitely. I don't know. I don't think they should have a right, like a literal like law that states if the man wants a baby, the woman has to carry it. Because like I said, by nature, it doesn't. Men are not carrying babies. It's just that men.
What if men did?
My husband would have all the kids. I promise you. You would have all the kids.
Yeah, I'd have a couple of men knocked up if that was the case.
Oh no, I wouldn't have them knocked up. 'Cause I'd be a deadbeat. I'd be a deadbeat.
That's what I'm saying. I would have a couple men knocked up.
I talk about all the time. If I was a man, women would hate me.
No, listen,
and that's why God made me a woman.
Right. Sometimes it'd be like that. So all right, so we're going into that. Like, I do agree with you. I just wanted to ask that question because that conversation comes up a lot. Mm-hmm. Men do not have rights, but just like we don't have rights when it comes to certain things either in this world. So moving outside that, you mentioned you have 8-month-old baby.
Yeah.
And did you go through depression, postpartum, any of that? Talk to us a little bit about what your journey was like, pregnancy, and then up to today.
Okay, so I mean, everyone who knows me, who's watching the podcast, know that last year.
Hold on 1 second. Thank you, Cruz. And yes, Toya, there is a lot of different types of adoption. I wasn't ignoring y'all. I was just really into this. Okay, I'll go ahead back. Go ahead.
Most people know I lost my mom a year ago in May to breast cancer. And
what about, she did not know when I was giving her a little background on you.
Okay.
So maybe touch on that because that'll help us understand.
Okay, so let me give you a little rough personal background quick. I'm the oldest of 5 children. My mom was pretty much a single mother. My dad was in jail all my life. And then I had a stepdad, but then they broke up. So for the most part, my mom was a single mother. But shout out to my dad. He's a great dad. He's not deadbeat. Yes. But so my mom raised all of us in the same household by herself for a long time. Shout out to Nene. Right. Okay. Shout out to my mom. She was a shit. And so I'm the oldest of 5. I have 4 younger siblings. And I was in college. I went to college in 2017. I came home in January because we found out my mom had breast cancer, and college and breast cancer don't go together when your mom got it. So it became too much of a commute. So she had breast cancer, and they had removed it. She tried chemo, it didn't work. They had removed it. Told her that she was cleared. There was no cancer cells in her lymph nodes, blah, 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 blah. So fast forward, she's about a year they call it, so they don't call it remission until you're 5 years cancer free. So it was stable. I found that out after she passed away. So
I didn't know that either.
yeah, I didn't know that. So we thought it was remission, but it was a year stable, meaning there was no cancer, nothing. It was gone. Well, a year later, the day before her birthday, she found out that there was a spot that came back in her lung, and so that's considered metastasized or whatever. And they told her, they gave her a prognosis. I went to that appointment when they told her that the cancer came back. It was me and my husband and my mom, and we were there. And the doctor came in, and her doctor is he's Asian. They are very like cut and dry, get to the point. There's no like, I'm so sorry, and they're just like, listen, here's the medical terms. These are the cards you're being dealt, and that's it. And which is, it can be good and it can be bad because he's not trying to beat around the bush. He's given to drive, right? Yeah. So he had said, it's in your lung, it's treatable, but it's not curable. And
treatable but not curable.
Yeah. So it was so what happened? What means it can be controlled, but it's never going to go away. She's going to live with cancer, whether she lived 5 years from now, 20 years from now, or 3 months from now. She's going to live with cancer for the rest of her life.
Okay.
And her breast cancer, it's called triple negative breast cancer. It actually became metastatic breast cancer because it spread, but it's triple negative breast cancer, which is the rarest form of breast cancer.
Oh, wow.
It's found mostly in minorities.
I've never even heard of that.
Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't even know there were different types of breast cancer. I thought breast cancer was breast cancer, but it's triple negative. So what happens is there's good and there's bad to it. The good was that it's not genetic. So my mom can't pass it down to any of her daughters. So it's not something because most of the time breast cancer is genetic. You usually have a gene and it traces, and that's
4 girls and 1 boy.
So that's why she got tested, because there's 4 of us. That's big. So it's not genetic. But the con to that is because it's not genetic, she tests, there's these like cells or whatever. They're like called HER2, whatever. Those are like the most, because there's so common. There's so many different treatments they have for it. Mm-hmm. She tested negative for all that, which is why it's called triple negative. Okay. So there's minimal chemos, radiations, whatever. There's minimal treatment for it. So, anyways, so he told her, that she had a prognosis, and he did give her a time frame. But I stepped out of the room for that because I don't want someone to put a time. A time frame on the time that I have left with my mom. Mm-hmm. So
Did you know you were pregnant at this time?
No, this was in 2018. I was only 19.
Okay. You're talking about at the beginning when you guys first. Okay, go ahead.
So, because this is gonna lead all the way up to the reason why I am a crazy woman today.
Okay.
But so at this time I'm not in college or nothing. I'm just working and just home with my mom. So she had came. No, I lied. So I came back in the room, whatever. She was just boo-hooing, and, we were all sad because, they just told her that she's pretty much going to die. This is how
they gave her a death sentence.
Yeah, this is this is how it's going to end for you. Mm-hmm. So, but my mom was just strong. Like, it hurt her, obviously, because, she knew she wasn't going to live forever. But,
you don't never expect your kids to outlive you.
Exactly. So, especially the kind of mom I had, I just swear to God she was going to live till she was like 90. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, she tells all the family, blah, blah, blah. And my grandmother had accidentally slipped up when she was angry and was like, I can't believe they gave her 1 to 2 years. And I was sitting there and I looked at her, I was like, I didn't know how much time I had with her. Yeah. I'm gonna be honest, I thought it was like 5 years.
Yeah.
And I'd have been okay with it because it was like,
So you didn't want to know at all?
No, because then I would have to prepare myself kind of thing. So
and then it's kind of like you're doing a countdown.
Exactly. You gotta okay, now I got 3 months.
But would you have been okay if they would have like 6 months? Like, do you feel like you wish you would have knew?
No.
Like,
no, because one, it's not what the doctor. It's not always what the doctor said. Unfortunately, in my mom's case, it was exactly what the doctor said. But it's not always. Okay. I've had family who were given 6 weeks to live, and they're living their best life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, that's how we took it. Was okay. The doctor said this, but this is how we're gonna live it, and we're gonna live it the best we can.
Yeah. Nice.
So, once I heard that, obviously, your brain has nothing else but to do but prepare yourself for the that timeline. Yeah. So, she got some second opinions and stuff, and they all said like this is the best option, whatever. So she did some chemo, and it shrunk. You know, it was stable. It was in a great place.
Yeah.
She was doing great. She started getting migraines a month before Christmas. Really bad migraines. I thought my mom was dying. She wouldn't get out of bed for days and all this.
That.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they did an MRI, and I remember sitting on her bed, and they had called her, and he said, "You have 2 tumors in your brain." So we all were all over the place, and like,
You were
honestly,
there when were all the kids there when she
I
got
went
this phone call?
to every appointment, every chemo, I've seen my mom from start to finish. And when I tell you I was at I think I seen sometimes too much. But I also worked in the medical field, so I wanted to see as much because I wanted to advocate for her.
Yeah.
It's because my mom is she's very strong-minded, but she can sometimes let her emotions take her from, really feeling how she feels sometimes. That comes from her being like an unbiased person. Like, she just likes to see everything in everybody's eye, and I'm like, no, look at it from your point of view.
Yeah.
Like, these doctors are telling you all this stuff. So honestly, after the tumors in her brain, it just went downhill up to the year, like from the year before that last year she was alive. It was a roller coaster, up and down. She had 6 brain surgeries, it was just so bad. Seizures. The seizures, I think, what really took her out, because she had a really bad one right before she went onto hospice, and that was it just really was bad. The last appointment she had with her brain, they told her there was nothing else they can do. She'd had so much radiation. They were just like, this is, what it is. But there was no new cancer cells. It was just like, there was so much damage to the brain from the radiation.
Yeah.
Which we knew, but my mom was willing to do whatever she could.
Absolutely.
And so, like, she even tried, like, a whole all-natural, like, Dr. Sebi thing, all that stuff. But I think she got so tired, she just didn't even care. She just was like...
It's exhausting. Yeah.
Not even if she was ready, she just was like, just whatever happens, happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, she was just so tired. And so...
Just being in the moment at that point, because that's a lot.
And then when she went to her last appointment, they told her that it can't... Because this was the lung, I told you, was stable. For the whole time that everything's happened in her brain, her lung was fine. Which was the problem to begin with. So, they told her, so at this point, this was her 1.5 year mark. So she'd had, from the 1 to 2 years that they told her she was going to die.
When she first found out.
From when she first found out it came back, this is the 1.5. She was at 1.5. And 2 years is what they gave her. So she's at 1.5 January. They told her it came back and it's larger, and that's why she was having like trouble swallowing and eating. She was like on pureed.
What came back? The breast cancer came back?
So
she had breast cancer, lung cancer, and the tumors?
No. This is why I explained it's metastatic breast cancer. So once it starts in one spot, that is the cancer that it is. So if she would get cancer in her brain and it spreads to her lungs, she just has metastatic brain cancer. It's spreading.
So it's just one.
Yeah. Okay. So it's triple negative, metastatic. Metastatic means spread. So it spread from her. It wasn't in her. This is.
You heard what she said. Metastatic means spread.
Yeah. So, and that pretty much. It went to her lung. They fixed the lung, whatever's in her brain. They told her it's back in your lung. It grew. That's why she was the last couple months she couldn't eat. She was so foggy. She couldn't barely put sentences together. All she did was sleep.
Let's pause right there. Your siblings at this point.
The house is a disaster.
Okay, so let's talk mentally now.
Everybody
who knew Janine knew that she kept a spotless house. It was always clean. She did not play that.
Nope.
Right?
The last year before my mom. This is how I knew she was not. I don't want to say giving up, because she fought. Swear to God, till the day she died. But this is how I knew it was like. It was shaken. The room, the world was shaken,
But let's talk about you mentally. Now, you're the oldest, right, of the 5. What was your mental like in this moment, dealing with all of this? What were you going through?
So my 2 siblings who are younger than me, they were pretty much on their own dealing with it. Kind of. I had a lot of responsibility for the 2 youngest ones, and I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah. You probably didn't realize how much your mother really did. Yeah.
I never realized how much she dealt with until I had my own.
Yes.
It wasn't even taking care of my siblings. It's when I had my daughter that I really understood it. But I'm gonna be honest. The whole time that she was sick, I lived in this bubble. So I didn't feel anything. I swear it was like I was blinded by everything else. if you can ask anyone, all I focused on was her. Like, I didn't even give myself to really feel all the different things and all the, like, I never even understood that the amount of things that I was doing was, like, not normal. Like, how I took care of her 24 hours of the day, how I took care of my siblings. I maintained a full-time job. I was in college. I didn't know that that's not normal. Like, that's extra stress. Like, you shouldn't have that amount of stress.
Were you married by this point?
I got married the August right before she died. Yep. Okay. So I was married when she passed away and stuff. Yep. I was learning how to, be a wife, because I promise you guys I did not think I was gonna get married. So I was trying to tap into wife mode.
Yeah. Did any of you seek counseling during this process up until where she passed away, before you had your daughter?
My two siblings, the youngest two, were in and out of therapy as they could, because it was hard trying to get them there and stuff. And like, there's only so much you can do when you're not their parent too, that they'll literally let you do. Yeah. So, and like, we can tell them all the time, my mom is sick, she got cancer, she can't do this. And they're just like, well, she has to do, okay, then we're not going to be there. You know what I mean? Yeah. So,
and that's ignorant.
It was. Some people were understanding to certain things, but not a lot of people. Like, a lot of organizations, places didn't care. My mom was on Section 8. They didn't care. Figure it out. Find a way to do it. You know what I mean?
That's how life is.
Yeah,
right.
That's it was, and that's exactly how it was. And one thing we did not ever want was pity. We never asked for pity. It wasn't, oh, my mom's sick. We never used
it's
any
not
of that.
Pity though. It's about being compassionate. Just having some type of morals, because I think at the end of the day, it's just, like I said, it's ignorant. You know what I mean? People are just dumb to the fact that, like, you have a family here that's going through, and it's not just your family. There's others that are going through the same thing. So, mentally that could take a toll. You could have turned out completely different. You could have took a left. Your sisters could have took a left. Anybody could have went a different route. That you guys are at a very impressionable stage in that moment. You get what I'm saying? So if you don't have that love, you don't have those people rallying around you to pretty much be there for you. What happens, especially when you got people treating you like that. Like, you say that's the way the world is. Are we supposed to accept that?
So, this is one thing I loved about my mom, and I love that she did this for us. She created a very solid team. So, and I tell people this all the time, and I live by this. I will not have one kid. And I learned that after losing my mom, that if I did not have 4 other siblings, I wouldn't even know what I would, like, where I would be, like, what I would do.
So you feel like that helped?
Emotionally, who else is going to understand you any better than your siblings who are going through the same exact thing?
That's a good way to look at it.
And so now that I'm a mother, that's my biggest fear, is leaving my kid by herself. Because since my mom has died, there has been a lot of family members who left us, who abandoned us, and did a lot of shady things, and I don't like that fake love. So I always said I don't want my daughter to be left with nobody but her siblings. Yeah. And so obviously I'm gonna have more kids. There you go. There's a little spiller.
Shout out to Mr. Mason.
If it was up to him, we'd have a football team. But I ain't with all that.
He ain't ready for that. He better slow down.
He don't understand.
Yeah, he ain't ready.
But so she definitely created a very strong bond between us, and that's why people really look at us crazy when they're like, you never fought your siblings? I'm like, no, my mom didn't play that. This is your brother and sister. Y'all love each other. Y'all can bicker or whatever, but we've never people fist fight their siblings, get into extreme fights, and I'd be like, my mom would have killed all of us. You know what I mean? So back to the mental part of it. I didn't have any, there was literally no emotion during and I'm not even.
You didn't allow yourself.
I didn't feel nothing. So when I had my daughter, I felt so much, and I didn't even know where it was coming from. I cried for the first 3 months. I cried every day. I swear to God. There was probably not one day I didn't go. And there was I'm about to be real raw with y'all. There was times where I used to think if I just go with my mom, I would not have to deal with any of this. I wouldn't have to feel any of this. I came.
This is after your daughter was born.
Yeah, this is so this is all postpartum feelings. There were times where I used to be like, did I make a mistake? Should I never had her? And it wasn't even that she was a bad baby or that there was anything wrong with her. It was the emotions that I was like.
So let's break that down right there. I'm gonna stop you because you know how you said your biggest fear was not leaving your daughter, but in the same sense, Postpartum will make you feel like, I'll leave it all right now. Take me out. I'm going to go with my mom.
Mm-hmm.
Your brain can be in 3 different places, 5 different emotions. Like,
when I first had my daughter, people always say you're going to have that natural mother instinct and you're going to feel that. I did not feel like I would kill anybody. I would die for my daughter till she was like 2 months. I did not say, I'm not dying for this baby. I've known her 3 days. I don't know if what if she become a serial killer?
What if I don't love her?
Yeah, like, what if this isn't even the baby I was looking for? So, but it was real emotions, and my husband's seen it all. Like, he's seen, like, all. Like, I let it all out, and
because TV portrays pregnancy as this perfect, beautiful, joyful moment. You know, you go through the 9 months and it's all butterflies and roses, and it's not.
No,
it's a bundle and roller coaster of emotions.
When I gave birth and I was home with my daughter, because my husband went back to work like a week later. Like, his job was just not
having it.
So, like, it was to the point where she was actually in the hospital for 3 days with jaundice, and he had to, like, tell them, like, you know, she was in the hospital 3 days, but she was in the hospital for jaundice over the course of 3 days, and he was barely understanding in that. You know what I mean? But when I was home with her, and I've been home with her since she was born. I had a part-time job, but it was barely a part-time job. I swear it was like a break for 4 hours one day a week that I would get. Like, I couldn't leave her.
Yeah.
And that goes back to what I was saying was, like, when I first had her, lost my train of thought. When I first had her, I didn't feel like no emotion.
Yeah.
I said, you know.
Do you think that had anything to do with the passing of your mother?
But I didn't know that.
Okay.
So I was thinking, like, this is just my husband's not home. Obviously, it was a combination, but I really didn't understand that this is me grieving. I almost never. I cried like the first day. So I found I was pregnant 2 days after my mom died.
Wow.
My mom died. So yeah. So let me really let y'all understand why I didn't feel it. My mom died Friday the 21st. I found out Sunday at a Celebration of Life cookout for her that I was pregnant. So I never even had time to cry the way I should have cried. I cried. The only time I really, like, screamed, let it all out was, like, the day I found out, the day she died, and that was really it. And then once I found out I was pregnant, it was like, I can't cry too much.
Yeah.
Like, I can't keep letting all these emotions out, because obviously, you know, I'm pregnant. Right. I don't want to overstress myself. So I didn't really feel too many emotions, you know, throughout my pregnancy and stuff like that. And part of it is because I'm not an emotional person, naturally. It takes a lot for me to, like, it took a lot for me to be emotional, vulnerable, charismatic. I wasn't that kind of person. And part of it is, you know, childhood traumas on top of just the personality that I had. But when literally the day I got home from the hospital, it's like a switch clicked on, and I just was like, all the emotions just literally, and they tell you at the hospital, they're like, you know, you're gonna get the baby blues, you know, it can last up to 6 weeks, it's just emotion, all the hormones are coming out of your body, blah 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 blah. So I'm like, okay, like, you know, I'm prepared for that. I was not prepared to literally go into full cycle mode postpartum. Like, I used to say to myself, I don't know how people who are 15 and pregnant have babies by themselves. I don't even know how single mothers do it. I have a husband and I'm ready to rip my hair out.
Now look at that. Now we wonder why. You know, people be like, oh, I don't know how so-and-so or how that person did that to their baby. Yes, I can understand. You ever been there in a moment with your child and you just don't know what you're going to do?
That's why I be minding my business.
Yes, like, you can literally lose it.
That's why I be having to walk away or something.
Yeah. It's real.
Yeah.
Because
postpartum is real.
I am 8 months, and I'm not even going to say that I'm completely postpartum. Now, for the most part, I am. Like, I don't really have too much postpartum stress anymore. Now it's just mother stress where you get overstimulated and you just, it's that stuff. But I don't cry. Like, it took me probably till she was like 5 months for me to really, like,
just for the record,
start to kick out.
How old are you? If you don't mind.
23. I had to think about it because I forgot I had a birthday because I had her on. Listen, because it's only because I had her on my birthday and it threw me off.
She was born on your birthday?
Yeah.
Oh my
birthday.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I just wanted to put that out there because it happens young, old, middle.
Oh, yeah.
You know, whatever. It can be
Any
across the
age.
board.
You could be
know?
married. You could have a whole
Yeah.
family. You could have thought you planned this whole and
Yeah.
beautiful. It does not. You could be
So,
financially stable.
I want to go to Beauty real quick because you had your first child young, and you could share what you want out of that.
I
Did
did.
you feel at that age, postpartum, or any of the emotions you did that you with your youngest child? Was it the same or was it different?
No, I did have a kid at 16, but no, I didn't have all those emotions until my daughter. I think I was like 24 when I had my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
I had postpartum. I didn't.
And that's the
know.
first time it hit you.
That's the first time hit me. It didn't at a young age. I felt like I don't know. That
It
was
was
my
probably
best
easier.
pregnancy. Like,
But it was
that
probably
the
easier.
easiest pregnancy
Did you
for
have
me.
your mom? Did you live with your mom?
I had my mom. I had my his father. I had it was overwhelming.
And
The
I think-
support I had.
Yeah. That's great,
It
though.
was like
That-
like
and-
I said, they
and that
took the
goes
baby
to-
like
yep.
they wanted to take the baby. So
Yeah.
I didn't have none of those emotions, and I didn't have postpartum or anything. But when I had my daughter, I didn't know I had postpartum until my friend. I was very emotional because I'm not emotional either. Like you were saying, I'm not like that. So I think I was like being emotional with my friend, and she kept asking me like, "Are you okay?" And
But
I'm
why
like,
did
"What
she
are
ask you that?
Because I was being more emotional than
like affectionate
Oh,
or
because
like
she's not used to
and
you.
compassionate
and she
and-
kept
all right.
asking me like, "Are you okay?" And then we started going out, and when I was drinking on the weekend, I would full blown cry.
Oh,
And I'm
oh
like-
my God, and that's the
and
worst
she-
cry.
And mind you, I'm the happy person. Like I'm the.
That's
friend
how you know
that-
it's time to wrap it
I'm
up.
the
Right,
friend
right.
that
It's time to go
cried,
home.
and I was crying, and she was like, "What's going on?" Mind you, nothing's going on, so I couldn't even make up anything. I'm like, I don't know.
And,
then
so,
when-
and sometimes it's I don't know.
and then I wake up in
You
the
can't
morning, the
explain
sun's shining, and I just want to cry. Then I'm like, okay, so I'm walking around my house like something's wrong with
Yeah.
me. And then like I'm like adding up. I just had the baby, and the baby probably was like 2-3 weeks. So I'm like, oh, I'm experiencing postpartum. This shit is real.
How did you
Like,
figure out it was postpartum? Did someone mention it to you? Did you
I
know
think
about it?
I want to say my best friend might have mentioned it. She might have said, I think you're going through
So,
postpartum.
I have a
didn't
question.
think that it was a thing, really.
Hold on, I have a question for you. I don't mean to cut you off.
No, we do
How-
that on here.
How
Okay.
how long did you last with your postpartum? Well, I'm gonna quote it. I'm not saying she didn't have it. I'm quoting
Right.
it because I'm gonna go ahead. How long did you have it?
I feel like it was like maybe like up to a year.
Okay. I only
Wow.
asked that because like I said, postpartum, they don't consider postpartum to be postpartum until it's 12 weeks after. This is why I said the doctors
Yeah,
will
when I
tell
was
you.
there's,
They
like,
tell
time
you
frames.
go through these emotions and it can last up to 12 weeks. Now, if it lasts after the 12 weeks, you are
Then it's-
considered your PPD. You're experiencing postpartum depression.
Yep. Okay.
Yes.
That's what. Yep. That's what
So that's why I asked because some
Yeah.
people can mix up like the hormonal changes with the actual postpartum.
Yeah.
But
That's what it was, the postpartum.
back to
depression.
your postpartum. There goes to show you. So with your second kid, did you have her father? Did you have all that
No,
stuff?
Everything was good.
And that's why postpartum is
That's why
triggered
I was
by
like, I
different
feel
things.
like it's triggered. Like, what is that?
There's different
I was so
things.
happy, and I was so happy because I really wanted a girl. So I was like, oh my god, like I was
That's-
good, and
it's
that was
crazy.
so weird that I didn't know what was wrong with me.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I think it was like some
think
type of chemical.
I think mine was
imbalance
triggered.
or-
Mine was definitely triggered by the grief of my mom dying, my mom not being here to experience me having my first kid, her
Yep.
first grandkid,
Yep.
not even having her period. On top of the fact that my husband's mother died, so
I know, yeah.
neither of us have our mothers.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So we literally have. I mean, we have a small team, but. Those people have their own lives.
Right.
Like my mom and his mom are
Yeah, it
supposed
did
to
change
be
for me.
those
The support and
people.
stuff, it did die down.
Exactly. You know
Yeah,
what
it
I
was
mean?
different.
And
Wait,
like
is Shalicia your godmother or is she just your sister's godmother?
she's both of our godmothers, but she's
Okay.
also my daughter's godmother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out to
Shout out to
Shalicia.
Yeah, I ain't giving her
Our
too much.
child
too
said
much.
she was told postpartum could last years.
Oh yeah, some people are like, I'm 7, my kid's 7, and I still have postpartum. And if I have postpartum for 7 years, listen,
I feel like it could come and go.
I feel like all
it
that-
comes in waves.
yeah.
My son is 2 years old, and I feel like the first year, you were right behind me, like almost a year apart. So my son is 2 years old, and in the moment, and after, my daughter they're 12 years apart. So went from 12 years without having a kid, and
So
then
starting
having
completely.
is-
I tell you all the time. I don't know how you did that.
What? I still don't know how to do it. I still be ready to jump off the
I
bridge
did it
right
too.
now.
It's ghetto.
Listen,
It's ghetto.
I don't
It is
recommend.
very ghetto. I'm telling
Don't do
you,
it.
you see that I jumped off a bridge somewhere. Y'all gotta know why, because listen.
Yeah.
I'm-
And it's a boy?
Yeah. Come get
Yeah.
me. Yes, and it's a boy. Come get me, girl, cause I really do. But seriously, on a real note, having this baby, I don't think I've ever went through such a depression the way I did. You know what I mean? And this is the first time that I
feel like it's all kind of the same thing. Postpartum depression.
Yeah,
I was gonna say,
I was a little depressed.
I was just gonna say, so how long after do you even
down
consider it postpartum anymore, or is it just
I think
depression?
they're just naming it. Yeah,
I think
they just,
right.
I think honestly, it's all the same stuff.
Exactly. You're sad.
Even
you're
anxiety and depression are kind of.
Oh,
the same.
anxiety got so much worse.
Man,
Yeah, because your anxiety is gonna trigger you to be unmotivated and you're gonna depressed. You can't do that.
And you're overthinking everything.
Right.
You can't even move out of spots. You just stuck in that same
for like hours, and you don't
space.
even realize that it's hours.
I don't think people without kids or people who had a lot of support don't realize how important it is
of
to
support.
Rally around you to help you. This is the first pregnancy where I had nobody around me.
Ooh.
Like I had no help. My friends that said they were going to be there did not show up for me. My family, my son don't even have a grandmother.
So you think that's why it was rough for you?
What? Super. It's still hard. It is
That's why
still
I say
hard.
It's support. I think a lot of it has to do with the support system that you have around you.
Yes.
Like I said, don't get me wrong.
We're humans. We're meant to have people
around
us.
And that's why when they tell you
it takes
a village to raise a freaking
and they
kid,
wasn't
they're
lying.
not joking.
They was not lying.
And it's down to the little things like, can you watch it for 30 minutes?
Yes.
Can you just?
You
I
need
just
a break.
want to wash my.
You-
I don't even want to do nothing. I just want to sit here.
But
and
honestly, that's not a break. That's not a break. When they tell you, "Oh, I watch the baby while you take a shower," you go to the grocery store. That's still not a mental break.
No,
you really need that time.
Because honestly, you're just gonna be thinking about your kid the whole time, and I realize
you
that.
really need a break. When you need a break, you need a break. I don't care what nobody says. You're deserving of one. You're supposed to have one. And if you don't have somebody there to give it to, it's very hard. I seen a lady, and I forget her name. I wish I could remember it. And it was somebody I had just friended. She put on there, and she was like, "If there's anybody out there who needs help, I offer respite." And I think that's how you say the word. It's RESPITE, and meaning that I had to look it up because I didn't know what it was. And basically, she was offering to like take your kid for a little while if you felt overwhelmed. Now, most people like us, if we're
it's sad that we're here, but that's why everybody's having anxiety and depressed because we don't have people.
But look, how would you trust this woman you don't know?
It
was an awesome offer,
but it's like.
I almost jumped on it, but at the same time, I was like, I don't know this woman. You get what I'm saying? But you be just that desperate to get that help from somebody that's offering it. You're like, oh man, you know.
But so this goes back to the don't get me wrong, I love my husband. I love that I have a family. I love that my daughter is growing up in 2-parent households. But sometimes I just get a tad bit jealous of people who co-parent and the kids can go to their dad's house because I just feel like I need a break. Yes. I can't. They live with me. Like when do I get the break? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if he comes home and he takes her and he's sitting in a whole nother room, it's not a break.
No.
If I hear her cry, if I hear her whine,
stuff outside your house, like you don't go out and do stuff like with friends or
on your own.
I don't have friends.
On your own.
I don't have friends. Since my mom has died, my family has separated a lot. My sister, who like was my best friend, like we grew up like this. Like we're a year and a half apart. She is my only sibling who I have the same both mom and dad with. We grew up tight, like we used to tell people we were twins. Like we literally were inseparable. This is the first time we have lived apart from each other ever. And she's stationed in Texas right now in the Army, and that's part of my depression because she left a month after I had my daughter too.
Yeah.
So that
was
also
a tough decision, though. You know, like that was.
And it's crazy because when I was pregnant, she was actually supposed to leave before I gave birth, and I flipped on her. You're going to leave before I have the baby. You're not going to meet your niece. But I did. And then I had to step back. I'm like, that's selfish of me. Because at the end of the day, of course, I want her to be there to see her niece and stuff. I said, but our mom just died.
Yeah.
She's trying to find herself. So I had to understand. But before I really could express it, she actually did a reflection too and was like, no, I think that would be a little bit selfish because I don't have to leave right away. I can leave after she was born.
So dope that you guys both thought about each other in that moment.
Yeah. So she ended up leaving after she was born. She got to meet her. She loved her, and we talk now. We drove all the way to Missouri to her graduation.
I seen that.
Yeah, 16 hours.
How long was that drive?
She was 4 months. She was fantastic. She's a sleeper. She loves the car. She slept almost the whole time.
She's a good baby anyway.
She's a great baby. She's a phenomenal baby. And that's why I feel bad because I have postpartum because it's nothing to do with her. She is an amazing baby.
You can't control that.
And I know that, but that's why postpartum stems from so many different places. Sometimes it has absolutely nothing to do with the kid. And it does. She was an amazing baby. Part of the reason why I had postpartum as well is I breastfed the first 3 weeks she was born. The first 3 weeks she was born, And I don't know if you know, but breastfeeding actually triggers more hormones and emotions and blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
blah
know
too.
that.
I
Yes.
breastfed, yeah.
And so you're more emotional as well. So
It's a setup.
I don't. So listen.
I'm like,
So
because the doctors won't even let you out the hospital unless you be like, yes, I'm a breastfeed.
Yeah.
Sis. Like, no, I'm not breastfeeding, but like, I'm just because I feel like they pushing it so hard.
They
It's
used
sick.
to be
And
like
it's
that
It
either.
is good for the baby.
It is
Like,
great.
if y'all want me to be walking around all crazy,
Listen, don't get me wrong. I
Nope.
think it's a beautiful thing. I
Let
definitely
me stop
salute
you
the
with
mothers
that.
who can salute the moms. Yeah, because listen, all the
I just
people
got
they
out of
gonna
jail,
come,
okay?
they gonna come for
I ain't
you
going
right
back.
now and be like, "Why you don't want to breastfeed? Because you want to drink and party." Shut up! I don't want to
you're
breastfeed
being
because I don't want
selfish.
to.
Yeah.
Sure, I am being
Right.
selfish because I got
That's
this
right.
motherfucker attached to my head.
Are we
the rest
supposed
of
to be
my
selfish?
life.
Why don't? And that's another thing. Why aren't we allowed to be selfish? Why are we not allowed to be selfish? We get judged.
I feel like we was raised,
we
like,
get
that's
put
just what
on
we
the.
As a woman,
We're
put on a-
crucified. God forbid. I don't care if this woman. Let me tell you something. If you handle your business, you should be able to do what the hell you want when you want. Period. If I want to go out Sunday and Wednesday every day of the week for 3 hours on my own, I should be allowed to do that because that's what I'm due to
And my
myself.
kid is clothed, fed,
Bills
well
paid.
healthy.
Yeah.
Everything is going great. Why not?
Yes, why not? But I
Why
bet
not?
you they'll be out there talking about you.
I don't
Especially
care.
if you're single.
Oh, if you're single, you're a hoe.
Oh my God.
And you got all
yes.
these men around your kids,
What?
and
Yeah.
mind you,
Yeah.
none of these men even know where I live, what
Yeah.
city. For all they know, I don't even live here.
I don't even be hearing it. I just be like, what? Y'all said what? I don't care.
I mean, I don't care either. You know, but I'm
I
just
mean,
saying,
I don't have
it
the
weighs
problem,
heavy on
but-
other people.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say they definitely. Listen.
How did your husband handle you going through all these changes when him, he didn't have the baby. This is new. You guys are both young. He's watching you go through all these emotions. How did he learn how to be there for you? And did he have to get some type of therapy to be able to kind of understand what you're going through? Like, who helped him?
Nobody helped him. I helped him, but it took me a while to actually speak on my emotions, because people really like when you're actually in a relationship, married with the person you're having a baby with, and it's your first. Usually, it's your first kid that happens, because obviously when you have more kids, it's like, okay, it's a walk in the park. I've done this. When you have your first kid with a person,
No, it's not.
but like what I'm about to explain, yes,
Yeah.
it's a huge adjustment to going from just a married couple to parents now, and it's in a blink of an eye. Like, you don't get to really prepare because you literally walk in the hospital pregnant and you're leaving with a kid, and now you're completely responsible for this baby 24/7, 365.
Everything changes.
Like, it's like so fast. Like,
Everything
when I tell you
changes.
it happened so fast, like some of the memories of the birth are like fading. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
But
Wait till 4 years from now. You're like, what's my daughter's birthday? And
Yeah.
it's your birthday? Like,
Yeah, oh, that's even worse. I be forgetting sometimes
Yeah.
we have the same birthday. But so I had to teach him a lot of. He didn't understand, but not because he didn't want to understand. He just didn't know how to understand, because
Yeah.
he's never. Not only are we just new with the married life, but now we're parents, and we don't even have our parents.
So you wish you would have waited.
No.
You're glad you did it when you did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, because when I'm 40 and my kids are 72 years old doing their own, like,
Yeah.
40, they're
Yes.
72.
Yes. I get it.
When
yes.
they are grown and I'm living my best life in my 40s, it won't bother me. I feel like, and I tell people this every time because I'm a prime example. Don't get me wrong, I ain't rich, whatever the case may be, but I am comfortable and I am well established in my relationship and pretty established in my life. I'm not a bum, but I'm not like where I want to be, but I'm in a comfortable position. I feel like you can never prepare to have a kid. You can have
Yeah.
all
You
the
can't.
money in the world.
No,
You've
I
never
agree.
done it before.
That's
How
a
do you
lot of
prepare?
things in life.
How do you
I think
prepare
that's
for
a
something?
lot of things in life.
How do you
Everything
prepare for
different.
something that you've never been through?
You don't. You can't.
Exactly. So it doesn't matter how much money you have. It doesn't matter how many houses you buy. It doesn't matter how many diapers you're never prepared to be a parent, and that's why I tell people it doesn't matter. You're never gonna. You can't regret something you had no idea you were gonna.
Do you call people when you need help now?
Nope.
Do you just go through the emotion alone?
I've accepted the fact that I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Mm-hmm.
I've learned to appreciate and value being a stay-at-home mom, because I've always wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but I never understood what being a stay-at-home mom. It, like
It's
you
hard.
said, on the movies it looks so great. We get up at 7, breakfast,
Right.
nap, and
Exactly.
walk
You
around
got
the
breakfast
park.
ready for your man on the
Yeah,
table.
everything is so
Everything's
peachy.
set up and
the,
clean.
the house is clean.
You got time for everything. Like, yeah.
There's so many
subscribe.
for some reason in movies, and there just seems like there's so much time in a day in the movies.
Yeah.
And real life, there's 3 hours in one day.
Right.
Would you
There's
talk to a
3 hours.
therapist?
I was actually I seek therapy when I was pregnant.
Okay.
When I got pregnant, I reached out to a counselor. I did therapy from August of last year until like 5 months postpartum, and I stopped because she was a great therapist. She wasn't a therapist for me. So she was a great person to talk to. I don't need somebody to talk to. I need somebody to help me talk me through my problems.
Right.
I'm not calling to talk because I'm not calling to talk about my day to day. I gotta get to the root of my problems.
Absolutely. And let me speak on that because I started therapy at one point recently, and I think it was I don't know, maybe 8 months ago. I had took a few sessions, and it felt exactly like that. I feel like in this day and age, they need to try to pair you with people who can relate or can really like help
Understand.
you, like you understand.
I don't want to talk to somebody who
it's
has
like I'm
both
talking
her
to a
parents
stranger.
and not even just a stranger, but I don't want to talk to somebody who doesn't know.
She's not
what
gonna
I've
get
been
it. This girl was what 15 years younger than me.
Talking,
The life
like you said,
experience.
I don't know who said it, but you feel like you're talking to a stranger. I feel like you have to have at least somebody close to you that you can talk to.
Yes, you do.
You do. Like,
You do.
that is very, very important. And I didn't have that for a while. And then I ended up getting somebody that I can talk to. And I feel so much more better.
How did you know you could trust that person? Was it someone already in your life?
No,
that
it was actually somebody completely new.
Wow.
But
That's
like we
crazy.
just got close so quick, and I just felt comfortable. And I literally like every day I was just venting, and like that's what I said. Everybody needs somebody different. Like I don't really need nobody to tell me how to get through my stuff because I don't. Because I seek God for those answers, but I need somebody just to hear me vent my day to day. And I ended up having that person. Like it wasn't even planned. And I used to feel so much more better every day. And I'm like, how am I getting better? And I'm like, yo, I have somebody I can confide in. I feel close to.
Just
I
It's
feel
not
take out all that baggage
exactly.
for
And
the
I
day.
never knew that I needed that until it just happened. So I do think that having somebody, I think that maybe that's why I had anxiety for a while, because I didn't have that person. I didn't have anybody to vent to. I was holding it all in.
It's crazy for me. I never found that person. I never
say I don't have that person.
I don't have that person. I never found
Honestly,
that person. That's I mean, you're blessed to.
But I don't
find
think
that.
I don't have that person because of other people. It's me.
What do you mean?
I was
It's
gonna
not
say
always
because
somebody
I always
else.
could have had that.
What do you mean
I had-
because of you?
I was never open.
Not
to
because of me,
talking.
like I'm a bad person. No,
No,
like because of
but-
me,
yeah,
because
explain that.
I don't trust. Since I've been a mom, because before I would talk to like any, because I'm very raw and authentic, and that's why a lot of time that's like actually why a lot of people don't always get along with me, because I'm very, very blunt.
That's flower.
I give it to you raw, like sometimes too straightforward, no filter, and like I've gotten like dang, like that was a little. Well, do you want me to lie? Like, you know, and
You could have softened the blow a little
right.
bit.
But
She said that's me.
Flower.
no, since I became a mom, I've been so aware of energy and like I'm very protective over my energy.
Felt that.
Especially like, you know, with having a daughter and having a family and stuff. People are envious.
Yeah.
You know, people prey on bad, like, you know, wish bad things
Yeah.
and stuff. So I got real what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I just got real protective, and I just didn't
So you don't trust people. You don't trust.
I
to
don't
talk,
trust people's
to open
intuition.
up.
So the way I used to do my friendships is, when I meet you, you're getting 100% straight off the bat, and it's up to you to keep it at 100%.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for every whatever, you lower it and lower it until I'm like, all right, that's it. You know, I've had my fair share. Now you start at 0. Figure out how to get to 100%. And so people start at 0, and
So now you work backwards. You do it the opposite way.
I do it the
now
opposite way.
Do you feel like you were being drained, starting at 100? They were taking from you, so now you don't allow them to take. You're gonna give it as they should receive it.
As they should, and it's one of those things where. But I've also learned that just some people aren't gonna be the friend that you want them to be.
Absolutely.
You have to accept
Oh,
people.
that's a big one.
You
Yeah.
have to accept.
You have to
them for who
accept
they
them for
are.
the friends they are. If you're a friend that I can call you and we gonna talk mad shit, drama, that's the friend I'm talking to. If you're the friend that's like, girl, we going to church, we gonna do this, let's get brunch, that's the friend you are.
Yeah.
You're the friend I'm like, yo, my car just got towed, I need to borrow $1,000, whatever, that's the friend. If you're just a friend that's just like, girl, we're trying to go out to the club, you know what I mean? Like, you have to
know what
accept
they
those
are,
people.
yeah.
And that took me losing my mom to understand that too. I've learned so many lessons since my mom passing, even though it's bitter, it's bittersweet. Obviously, I'd rather her be there and care about all these lessons in life. But I've learned a lot, and it's helped me become a better mother for my daughter. So I've definitely gotten a lot better with the postpartum and stuff. Like,
how do you deal with it? How do you cope?
Now I just honestly I just started listening to this other podcast. I ain't telling y'all it because you're gonna try to be like me. But it's a really good podcast.
Mariah, you're going to be starting a podcast. I want you to go back to her question, but you're going to be starting a podcast, right?
Yes, we're under construction right now. Yeah. It's going to be a mommy podcast.
That's right. Y'all make sure y'all check her out.
I can't say it's going to be a mommy podcast. It's going to be I am a mom with a podcast. So a lot of the things that I talk about are going to be relative to parenting and being a mom. Not even parenting, being a mom. Because I don't know what, dads is different. But,
so how do you cope? She's asked, how do you cope?
Oh, so I'm right now, I think because I was raised to be an alpha woman. My mom was, so I was raised to be independent. I've worked all my life. My life is so weird being a stay-at-home mom and not being the provider. I've took care of every boyfriend I've ever been with. They've always lived with me. Yeah. They drove my car. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's a lot of the
you
things
held it down.
Yes. And now that it's on the other foot, it's different because it's coming from a genuine place. So I've been tapping into my feminine energy. That is my new season right now because I've been living in my masculine energy and feeling like I need to be dominant. But that's a whole nother conversation. But that's been my new coping, is trying to just really like. When they say, they don't mean feminine energy mean dress up. It means like be a woman, like do what a woman is supposed to do. And it sounds crazy like woman's supposed to do, but if you're with a man who wants dinner cooked every night, and you know what I mean, do the things that you are required to do as a wife, as a woman, as a mother.
So you believe in gender roles?
I believe in whatever works for your situation.
Okay.
So if you feel like we're 50-50, go ahead. My husband is, I provide and you do, not the housework like, you're a slave, but you're home. You're stay-at-home. He always wanted me to, that's why I became a stay-at-home mom. If not, I'd have been, working like a slave and stuff like that. But, he proved to me that I could be a stay-at-home mom. He made me feel I can rely on you. Yeah. So, of course, why not spend every waking moment with my daughter? Yeah. And as much as I complain about it, I wouldn't trade this job for anything else. Couldn't pay me enough money to go to a different job. Yeah. But that's literally just been my, like, really trying to just focus on being more vulnerable, being more understanding, having a lot of uncomfortable conversations.
With yourself as well.
With myself, about myself, with just everything, like.
For women, I feel like it's so hard for us because a lot of times we have, they talk about men's pride, but for women, for females, moms especially, single moms, as on top of that, we have a hard time sometimes asking for help or really reaching out for
I think more people should seek therapy.
Absolutely.
I think it's important.
Somebody wanted to anonymously say, I think more men need to go to therapy. I think once you are of a certain age, people need to seek help outside of friends and family. People tend to battle this issue for many years, but do nothing to get help. People need to check on their strong friends and family more because they carry a lot of burden.
Well, therapy has been taboo, especially in the minority community. So that's why people don't do it. Therapy for what? Who am I going to talk to?
I think that more people should seek therapy.
They should, but they won't because they're embarrassed. Two, it's unnatural.
I feel like a lot of people don't realize something is wrong with them. Like, not something wrong, but they have an issue.
Or they know.
People are oblivious. I think people, a lot of people feel like this is life.
Yeah, they just accept it.
It's normal to them.
It's normal.
And they're like, why am I going to tell, why am I going to tell the outside white person? Because obviously the first person you think of a therapist is a white person. I'm not being racist. Promise. I am white. No, I'm just kidding.
She's quarter white.
I got a little bit in there. But, that's what they think is that who are we going to tell this complete stranger, pay them to tell me what I need to work on myself. Has a lot to do with pride from both sides. Women, there's women who are like that. Obviously, it's more men because men are raised to be unemotional. So they're obviously not so vulnerable when it comes to talking to therapists. But I think it's extremely important to talk to the right therapist. Don't just talk to a therapist. You have to talk to the right therapist. And it's like trial and error. Sometimes
it is, because Tia, that's what she said. Therapy is great, but you will have to go through a few before you find the right one.
You guys both said that too, though. That you guys didn't have the right. That's crazy,
I did not.
Though.
Yeah, and let's not mention financially. Therapy can be expensive.
For me, so
people can't afford it.
So this is why I stopped going. No, it is because this is why I stopped.
Like now we can afford it. I mean, because the breastfeed.
She's going through something today. Okay, like
they told you breastfeed so you can afford the therapy because you're gonna spend the same money on formula.
No, we ain't got it like that.
So that's actually why I stopped going to therapy. Was because she wasn't the right counselor for me. I knew I needed a grief counselor and a postpartum, a counselor who specialized in grief and postpartum depression. So I looked for those. Everyone was not in my network, and for one, guess how much it was for one session?
How much?
I want y'all to guess.
It was over 100. I know it was around $150.
$150.
My money.
I said I will.
Not even for a full hour.
I will go to church for free on Sunday.
I was gonna say. I was really about to say. Y'all should start at church because
I do believe.
I mean, I'm not saying you can't go to church and therapy, but you might want to start at
there.
church.
No, every time I go to church, I cry.
That's good.
Every time I go to church, I cry. That means you need a therapist.
I do need a therapist. You are not lying.
That means you're listening. If you go to therapy, if you go to church,
I'm like,
and I cry.
If you go to church and you do not feel any emotion and it doesn't make you cry. That's a problem.
I'll be in church like trying to hold it together.
And for some reason, and this is why I believe there is God. No, that's why I believe there's a God every day.
She was our singer.
Every time she gonna do the outro and everything.
When I cry.
We should do your name like you should edit a song with you just singing some song.
I got y'all.
You gotta get it. You gotta do an opening song that when they turn it on.
She's gonna make a sip and song for us.
Lip singing.
Yes.
But no, seriously, church. Start at church.
It is.
In order to find the therapist that you need, we might say we got parts for them, like depression, anxiety, mourning, who knows?
All of the above,
You know, I do think they.
But okay, so do you ever stop? You're a regular church. Do you go to church?
I haven't been to church.
I haven't been to church in a long time.
I haven't been to church.
I just
we reverted.
Okay.
No, we reverted to. I just told you, I got an 8-month-old, and she's a lot busier now. So we actually did the online. Church, so we go to church online.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
because our church offers online.
I stopped going because I kept crying. I couldn't take it no more.
Girl, that's good.
You gotta let those demons out.
I do. I can't let it go. I had to. I'm like you guys. I'm so tough. You know what I mean?
So when you go to church,
that's why you feel. No, I feel the same way. Like there was a point where I stopped go. Like I didn't want to go because I was so sick of crying.
Yes.
I said, "Is this like why do I got?"
And then I feel like people looking at me like, "Why is she back here crying?"
Like get overwhelming.
What church? Do you mind what church do you go to?
It's a church called Second Baptist by my church in Bethlehem. I'm by my house in Bethlehem. And I was going there for a little bit, but I never really. And then I went to Greater Shiloh and Easton a few times. I think those were the last two that I went to.
You ever tried Life Church?
Back in the day, I did go there. That's the one right there off of.
It's not there no more.
It's not. Okay, but it used to be on
Walnut. I mean, it used to be on the east side.
Yes. Okay. Yes, that's when I went there. That's where I go. Yeah. You like it?
I love it.
But you do online.
Yeah.
Do you be at home crying?
Do
you cry? So you still feel the same emotion?
I cry because you're home. Church.
Yeah, me. Just be in the shower
turn it up about 10 notches.
So you feel it like that's why I'm asking because at home because you know when you're in
I get the
church
word,
and you feel it and it just hits you. You're at home, you still get that same.
It's the same thing because
it can be the same thing. Yeah.
Sometimes. The online doesn't always give what it's supposed to give because you don't get that worship banging in your because that's really what makes me cry.
Yes,
worship makes me cry.
Man, listen,
it don't even be the word.
Worship for me.
It be the worship for me. What? That means you ain't in the right church.
I be all in it.
No, the whole church be going crazy.
Because worship is the worship for me.
I'll be like
the song. They just be like. I'll be like, how you knew I needed this
Right,
song today?
exactly, and it just hit.
It's
Especially
worship
if
for
they
me.
singing it right. Oh my God!
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yes, it just
No.
does something to your soul.
I mean, sometimes the word, like,
No,
you know,
no.
when it gets spicy
The
and you
worship
start
part-
really feeling it, the word, you're like, and it's hitting
That's
and
the
Yes.
it's
word for
deep.
me all
Yes.
the time.
Right,
It's so
and-
annoying.
So I was gonna ask, when you guys go to church, do you feel like every time you go to church, it's always the right word?
Yes.
That's
Like
what I'm
it's
saying,
like
it's always
it,
the
yes,
word
it's
for me.
dragging you.
And
yeah, he
Like,
knew you was coming. He
I
knew
know.
you was coming.
There has
like-
to be a God. Like, it don't make
Yes.
any sense.
Sometimes I'll be out there like, I'm acting like I ain't hear that.
Yeah.
Because I have to do afterwards. I already got brunch.
That wasn't part of the
Start
plan.
zoning out.
I'm
Right.
gonna pray for 30 minutes. Like, so I'm like, that was not for me.
I just
Absolutely
want to
not.
ask the people who end up watching this what they normally do to cope with their anxiety or depression, or what has helped them through different situations.
Exercising
Yeah.
helps me.
I
with
would like
Don't
to
take
hear what-
antidepressants. They make it worse.
I don't.
Oh my
yeah, I
God.
don't take pills
Yeah.
for anxiety. I
They tried to give me it.
exercise. Change
I need to
your
get
eating
back in the
habit.
gym.
Change your eating habit.
I need
That
to
helped
get
a
in the
lot.
gym.
It
Do
did.
something out of your comfort zone too. I thought that was weird, but I did it and it actually worked.
Yeah.
Like switch your routine.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody sent me like a list of things that they do to help them with depression. It was like exercising. Oh, and also like congratulating yourself for small things
Drink
that you're
water.
doing.
Oh, I do that a lot.
That's really big.
I'd be
too.
like, oh my God, I just put this laundry weight has been sitting here for 3
Yeah.
days,
Yeah.
period.
And
And,
I'm like,
and
I
people
need
be
it.
like, you should have been did that. No, this is an accomplishment.
Right. That
Baby
is an
girl would sit there
accomplishment.
for 3 more weeks.
Celebrate-
Oh, okay. Because
Yeah,
listen, my
celebrate
laundry will
small
sit in the basket for
accomplishments.
4
Like
days.
today, I actually finally put my daughter's laundry away that's been sitting in her room. We did laundry last
Yeah.
week.
Exactly.
And don't ask me how long it
I
took to
would've
fold
been-
I'm
the
gonna tap it
laundry.
up. We as women have to come together. I'm gonna say that. Like, I put that question out there to our viewers. What do you guys do? We want to hear from y'all. You know, let us know what you guys do to cope, because we could use that. You know what I mean? And we can share those things. You can be anonymous. We do not have to share your name if you don't want
Not
to
even
put
know
it
your
out
name
there.
because maybe I want to
Yeah.
go to the gym with you.
I mean, yes.
No.
Listen,
And
I am looking for a
also,
gym partner.
I think
Yes.
that's what I need to motivate me. I need someone who can match.
Having somebody,
You know.
have somebody
Yes.
to push you.
You
That definitely-
what is that called when they're
Accountability?
accountability?
Yeah.
Yes.
Accountability.
yes.
My husband won't do it because he's your, he's my husband, so he's
And
like,
he's a man.
yeah, he's just like, babe, if you want to do it, you can do it.
Exactly.
But you gotta be wanting to do it.
You
Well,
just
you're
gotta
not
get up
really
and do
helping.
it.
Yeah,
Like, no, that's not what I
Like, now I
mean.
need somebody to knock on my door, grab
Exactly,
me
like-
by my hair, like, girl, we going
you
to
need
the
to get up
gym.
Let's
now.
go. At my door, like,
I
get
don't know
up.
how I feel
right?
about
Get up.
accountability because I'll get annoyed.
I don't
No,
know.
I
You
need
need,
acc-
listen,
no, I need
I'll be annoyed, but I
accountability.
still need
But
that.
I think that's part of
feel
my
like that's
growth.
good.
I
Yes.
want someone to
I-
hold me
yes.
help, not hold me accountable because I should be able to do it myself. But when I lack my accountability,
Yeah.
I need.
But
I
you know
want
what?
someone.
It for me, I feel like they're showing that they care. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They care enough to really
You
like
have somebody
put you
sincere.
like,
yeah,
listen.
come on, sis, this is what you want, and I'm gonna hold you to that because this is gonna be so
Make
much
you
more for you
better.
later
Mhm.
on. Yeah, you're gonna appreciate this, you know. So a lot of times that's what we need. Oh, that's what I was gonna say before. We as women, we need to start rallying together. Stop hating on one another, guys. Love on one
I
another.
was
We
gonna
go
say,
through so many of the
Be
same
nice
things.
and be kind all the time because you never know what somebody's going through.
I
That's
mean, you
it.
could be
can
a little
help.
bit petty sometimes,
no,
but I
no.
mean,
Be nice,
just
be
be nice,
kind.
love on one another.
You never know
But
what
petty
somebody's
is
going
you
through.
sprinkle some petty in there,
Don't be
and it's
petty
like
because somebody
ugh.
might be having a bad day. You just made it worse. Flour. Don't be
Yes,
petty.
just a little petty.
I could be petty and be kind at the same time.
Yes,
That's what's called being petty.
that's right, Erica.
I could be
amen.
kind.
She said, "Amen, lady."
I can disguise my kindness.
I'm not here for the
Ooh,
petty.
Tia put
Not
girl,
the
goodbye.
stars, the petty.
Goodbye. Okay. Tia said you ladies should start a workout group for mental health therapy. Tia, you are on to something, honey, and we're gonna bring you along. We should do that. We should try to do something at least for like once every 2 weeks right now. What do y'all think? Tia, that's a great idea. I think we should do that. I'm so down. Look at her.
I feel like my
Look at her
feet.
face.
I'm gonna pass out.
Yeah.
But yeah. Let's
Did
do
she
it.
just sat here and say she was working out?
I do it in my
You said
house.
that?
Girl, I sit down
You
in the
didn't
middle
hear
of her workout, eat and everything.
No.
Come back to it with my heart.
She works out.
That is not working out. It's
But
not like
listen,
you're just
I
doing
do what fits for me. When I start having bad anxiety, I get up like, girl, go
She
work
didn't
out.
eat a donut, a
I'll work
muffin,
out.
or a
She
cookie
grab a
tonight.
muffin and
She
be
ain't
like,
got
Stop.
nothing.
As soon as I feel like I'm about to faint, I go sit down.
Listen,
You hear me? I go
listen.
sit down.
I go to the gym for
Anxiety
15
went
minutes.
down.
No,
At
I
this
remember
point, I'm
when
about to faint.
I actually got into a gym routine.
baby steps.
That was probably the best I felt. That was probably the best I felt when I had my own gym routine.
That just make you feel better.
It
Diet
does.
routine, and
It does.
I created a routine. You know, they say it takes like 30 days to build a habit
Yes.
or break a habit, and then 20 to build a new one. Whatever, 21. And when I was doing the gym, oh my god, it felt so great.
Yeah,
and I got
it feels
COVID.
good.
I got COVID, and I haven't been to the gym
That's
since.
crazy.
Yep.
But no, definitely
We
working
can
out.
work out on Beauty's chair.
Tia,
I like the way you think tonight, girl. I'm telling you.
I don't like y'all tonight.
Yes. And Erica says she pays for Planet Fitness with the black card and don't go.
Oh, who are you telling?
Erica, I'm right with you. I pay for
for a
it too.
whole year. I ain't never go.
I told you
I
the
still
last
have it.
time I went, I got
You know what?
COVID
I'm
in
gonna finally have to get my
2020.
money
Yeah.
back.
2020, November
And you
2020,
still haven't
and they
been.
charge my card every month since
And you still
then.
don't go.
Yup.
And a
Nope,
yearly
same here.
membership fee they
Yep.
charge you
30,
too.
was it $39?
$39.
Yep.
Yes, yes,
I'm
ma'am.
gonna get mad thinking about that.
And then listen,
Yeah.
but hold on. Let me tell you what the real the real problem is. This I don't.
That was a Nene laugh right there.
Let me tell you how I'm really lazy. So I looked online to try to cancel the membership, and you call. I'm like, I'm trying to cancel my membership. They're like, yeah, you gotta come in. That's why they keep
Yes.
Nah, that's lazy.
You definitely have to, because you have to sign a paper. They say.
You gotta go in and
You like forget
charge
it.
the card.
never mind.
I'll go broke.
Nah, I'm
Take the
gonna
20,
my money.
take
You
the
gotta go
payment.
in.
It's
I'm
all
going
right. Nah,
No, for
definitely.
real.
I feel like this was just the tip of the iceberg. We just kind of scraped the surface tonight, guys. It's been an hour already that we've been talking, and we don't want to bore y'all out. So, I definitely want to continue this conversation. We want to get into mental health again next week.
Talk through it.
Yeah,
That's what
we
we're
want to
doing,
talk through it.
you know?
Anything
Push
you
through.
guys want us to bring up or talk about, we want to hear it. We would love to bring it up. We do have a couple people we want to bring on that are either in school for therapy right now or are actual licensed therapists. So we want to bring them on the show as well. Maraja, we'd love to have you back again if you want to
I
come.
will come every day.
We really didn't touch into a lot of what you go through as a new mother, and we do want to tap into that just a little bit more, because I think when people really put out there things that you have gone through, like specific scenarios, like you
It
said,
helps
crying,
people,
yeah, it does, because then you don't feel alone. People are realizing like, oh, I went through that too, and they don't
I
feel
have a
as-
best friend who
as
she
alone.
just had her daughter 4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Or 4 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago. And she's going through that. And like sometimes I feel bad because like she'll be like, oh, you know, she's actually my goddaughter. So she'll be like, so and so just did this. And I'm like, oh my god, Malaya used to do it all the time, blah 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 blah. And then I'm like, damn, am I like being selfish right now?
Yeah.
But I explained to her, it's not me.
I do that
I'm not
all the
taking.
time.
I'm not taking from
And I
you.
always
I'm
say that.
connecting
It
with
feels
you on a
related.
person because I want to
Yeah.
let you know
You
you're
just
not
want
the
to let
only
them know you're
person.
not the
Right.
only one.
Like
Right.
I went through it, and I want you to know I went through it. This is how I handled
Yeah.
it. Let me give you some advice.
Because
kinda
a lot
thing.
of times we deal with it alone. We deal with it alone. I never imagined, and I just like right now, I'm bringing it back to me again. I went through this again. This was the most loneliest pregnancy after. I mean, and I was engaged.
When I got pregnant, I literally had a group chat. I had 5 friends and then my sister. So I had a whole group. Within a month of me finding out I was pregnant, I stopped talking to every last one of them.
Girl, it
That's
goes
right.
like
Through
that.
my entire pregnancy,
Yes.
I didn't talk to nobody.
One of my friends said to me before I got pregnant, before she found out I was pregnant, she was like, "Have the baby. Oh my God, Shonda, I'll be there for you. I'm gonna help you."
Where's she at?
I've not seen it, okay?
What
And
is
I love
going
her no
on?
less. I want to make that clear. I love her no less, but I don't put false expectations out there for
Yep.
friends, because then you really depend on them. Like, hey, you know, you promised
It's one
me
of those
this. I'm
things
big
where
on
if you're gonna
loyalty.
do it, you're gonna do it. I'm not even
Yeah.
thinking about it. There's people who told me I got this for the baby, this for the baby. My daughter is 8 months old.
I ain't seen it.
I ain't hear nothing. I ain't see nothing. And I don't expect not one thing.
Listen.
Everybody, let's just all do better.
Yeah, let's all do better. We're gonna wrap it up tonight, guys. Thank you so much for everybody who's joined us tonight. Thank you, Maraja, for joining us. Oh my God, I'm sorry. Before we go, Maraja, I want you to shout out this woman. She's not just a stay-at-home, and I hate to use the word just, because it's not just a stay-at-home. She is a stay-at-home mother. I have to delete that out of my vocabulary. She's a stay-at-home mother. She also does locks.
Yes.
Do you do anything else besides the
Nope.
locks?
I specialize in only locks only. I do
Yeah.
not want to braid your hair. I do not want to add extensions. I do not.
She don't want to braid your hair.
I am not
She don't wanna do
interested.
none of that.
I
Are you
am.
one of people like come
I
wash?
am in love.
Come with
Nope.
your hair
I
washed?
will wash your
Oh,
hair.
okay.
No.
Do you rub the scalp?
I rub the scalp. I have oil. I'm actually about to create my own oil and my own little water because
Amen.
that's why I only did locks. Obviously, I have locks, so I have a passion. I have
And I
a
love the
love
green.
for it.
Yeah, I love the.
I hate it. It's disgusting.
Oh
I'm
my
trying
God,
to
so
strip
pretty.
it out. It looks like poop on my hair.
What?
Not
I think
too-
it's so ugly. This wasn't even the color I put it.
We're not going to talk
It was
about it like
purple.
that. It was purple. Okay.
It was purple.
It's still, I like green.
It's not supposed
I
to be
like
green.
Well, I like green.
Yeah, the
I'm just
green
going to say I
looks
like
good to
green.
me.
So
These people is lying on
yeah,
camera
we
like
are
that.
not. I would not lie. I just wouldn't have said anything. I like
She
it.
would
I
definitely not
definitely would not lie. I
She
just
would be
wouldn't have
like,
said nothing.
I wouldn't
She's like,
have
maybe
said
let's
that.
go with another color. Like,
Yeah.
and then
Like, you ever tried? Look, you ever tried
In a
red?
real nice way.
You ever tried?
You ever tried? Yes.
Fall now.
Exactly.
She
But
but, me stuff before the
yes,
podcast.
I
If you just want me to wear a different color, just say that.
And go ahead, you can say it because I think it looks ugly, so I know other people do.
No, it really looks good.
It's fine because I look at it every day, and one of those things.
Fed is telling these people what
I'm
you're doing, how to
trying,
get in touch with you.
talking to me. All right, so yes, I only specialize in locks. I do start locks. I don't color. This is hence why I'm trying to get this color on my hair. Because I'm with an all natural process. I believe in an all natural process. No, I will not add extensions into your hair. I think people don't understand the love for locks and the process that goes with it. People overlook the starting process. The number one lesson you learn with starting locks is patience. You know, you got to learn the patience and stuff like that. So, yes, I do locks. I do retwist styles. I try not to do kids' hairs because it's a lot of work, but if there's an exception. But
they gotta be a good kid, okay?
Yeah, all men, women.
How do they reach you? How do they find you?
So my, Jesus, brain fart. I have an Instagram page. Yeah, right. It never goes away. I have an Instagram page, business page. It's Nene NENES Touch TOUCH, my bad, .locks on Instagram. It's Nene's Touch of Locks on Facebook.
Do you have a number that people call? Or
I was gonna say, and you can text 267-485-1078 to book.
Say that one more time.
267, or you could just rewind it. No, I'm just kidding.
See?
It's
here it goes.
Here we go. It's 267. Stop! You want me to say it? 267-485-1078. I do not work on on Sunday and Thursday, so please do not text me. I will not respond. But
from her on the next business day.
no, I am nice, guys. I'm soft.
Don't text me.
No, I'm really soft. I have became such
You
a
text
softie.
her, that message gonna sit there though, okay?
It might not. It depends if I need the money. I might text you 30 seconds later. I'm like, just come on, it's 12 o'clock in the morning, but I need
come on through.
But no, I'm such a softie. Since having a kid, it's kind of sometimes disgusting. Like I just be like, did you really just cry?
Yeah.
Like I cried in the car today because my husband took too long doing something.
Oh.
And I was sitting in the car.
Because you were waiting on him?
That's probably postpartum.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's
just I'm a crybaby. It's just I wasn't like. It's just I have
you
emotions.
Just like that now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's all right. You cry for whatever the hell you want to cry for.
But like, I would never.
Now
I took
you
the
would.
car and dipped
Look,
on them.
and now you would. You would never, but now you would. Yeah. Okay. Seasons change, people change. That's just the
definitely
way it
a new
is,
season.
You know.
That's true.
So look, embrace it. We have to learn how to. I read something earlier, and it was like, we'd be a lot happier if we stopped trying to trying to find the perfect version of ourselves, but just being happy for the person we are, what we're in at the moment, just accepting that.
Accept the season that you are in.
Yeah, I think that's what it is. So, again, thank you guys. We are going to wrap it up, and we'll see y'all next Sunday again. Please send us all. We're going to talk mental health again next Sunday. So reach out to us.
All month long, baby.
Yeah, maybe all month long. Absolutely, because
that'd be good.
We definitely, and actually, Beauty here brought you a gift on the way out. She brought you a gift today.
I did. It's a journal. You can write in it. I think it helps with like coping and stuff, writing stuff down. And on it says a little progress each day leads up to big results.
I love that.
So you can write like daily, and the mug matches, for your hot cocoa.
Well, you got me a mug too.
A mug
too,
drinking
hot cocoa today.
Look at this. They want me to come back.
We want you back.
We enjoyed having you. Yeah, like I said, I definitely want to go dig a little bit deeper. We got people who's having babies and everything like that, but we'll definitely talk behind the scenes, and we're going to do this again next week. And we hope you guys come back. I want everybody to have a great rest of their Sunday night. Giants won. I don't want to hear nothing else. Have a great night. See y'all next week.
Good night.